second place winner in humorous speech contest is Wen Chin. Please give your round of applause. Thank you. But besides Wen Chin, we have a real contest winner from the area contest 63. We have somebody who stepped in for the table topic when Gloria could not make it. And let's give a round of applause to Satish. Thank you. And somebody is calling me, so I give the podium back to the table topic master.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, my words gone away. Toastmaster of the day.
So, the reason I chose today's theme, success in a social media savvy world, might surprise you a little because I think I'm an equally strong advocate of social media and personal touches. So, you know, we all use LinkedIn, some of us here, and some of us use Facebook, Instagram even, although that's usually a younger set. Interpersonal communications are important, and personal touches such as getting up and walking down the hall to see one of your coworkers to discuss something, you might learn something about them that might strengthen your professional relationship. You might pick up the phone and call a coworker. You might send a handwritten note to a coworker, or thank you for a job interview. Coming to Toastmasters meetings are great for developing interpersonal skills and enhancing work relationships. But back to tech, social media. We should really develop a committee in our Toastmasters to help entice and retain members. Since July 8th of this year, we had 273 unique visitors to our website. That's pretty good. So, and we could keep going on that. So I recommend that we, at some later date, we develop a committee for that. Before I go over too much more of the meeting, could the guests please stand and just tell us your name and a little bit about why you're here?
Well, I'll start. I'm Salwa Fayyad. I'm actually new to the NIH. I just wanted to come in and hone in on my speech skills, and this seemed like the perfect place to do it.
Thank you.
Charlie Bryan. I work for the Office of Human Resources here at the National Institutes of Health, and pretty much the same reasonings as Salwa.
Hi, I'm Tazmia Noor. I'm part of the Workforce Enhancement Branch. I also am trying to improve on my presentation skills, trying to gain confidence up on that stage that doesn't come easily to me all the time, but I'm very excited. I've been eyeing Toastmasters for 2 years now, so now I have the courage to actually join, and hopefully I can learn a few tips from everyone here. So.
Hi, my name is Victoria Shi, and I am also at the National Institutes of Health at the NCI in the Clinical Research Division. And I'm here because I also want to improve my speaking skills. And I think this will also be very handy for things like networking.
Hi, I'm Mike Gertz. I'm at NCBI, and I'm actually here as well to help improve my presentation skills.
Well, we come back many times and get the opportunity to speak. So just to give you a little clue in about how the meeting works, There are three parts. First are the speeches, and we have one speech today. Next is table topics. That's where somebody will give you an opportunity to come up and speak for 1 or 2 minutes each. And then the final part is evaluations. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce JT, who's going to present a speech, Riding Around the World in a Rickshaw. He recently met with a Mr. Guanming Chen, who rode his rickshaw around the world over the past 14 years. And this inspired JT to give this speech. Let's see, who is it? Yang is going to evaluate his speech, and he'll stand up and give us the objectives. Oh, Jenny. Oh, excuse me. So sorry. Jenny, would you like to stand and let us know the objectives, please?
Yes, this speech is the press conference. And the objectives are to understand the nature of a video broadcast press conference, to prepare for an adversary confrontation on a controversial or sensitive subject, and to employ appropriate preparation methods and strategies for communicating your organization's viewpoint, and to maintain and present a positive image. Time is 3 to 5 minutes for presentation, 2 to 3 minutes for questions.
Thanks, Jenny. Okay, now let's everybody welcome JT.
Thank you, TMOD, final Toastmasters, and the welcome guests. I heard you have some questions about Mr. Chen Guanming, who is visiting Washington, D.C. Let me just make a few marks at the top, and then I will open it up. 2 weeks ago, I showed a friend around the Maryland area, a Chinese farmer named Chen Guanming, who had been traveling the world since 2001, pedaling a one-speed highway tricycle loaded with his gear and pulling his rickshaw with a rope to get up mountains. He has been visiting 23 countries and over 90,000 miles. He sleeps outside in his rickshaw with his belongings. And by news accounts, he has been redirected to be removed from riding on a few public highways by police for safety before. And in 2008, at age 53, Chen decided to ride his three-wheel tricycle 497 miles from his village to the Summer Olympics in Beijing. And in May 2010, he decided to embark on a truly epic journey from China all the way to London, England. And England was the host of 2012 Olympics. His long route took him through some of the world's most troubled regions and difficult regions, including the flooded Thailand, the Himalayan foothills, the war-torn Afghanistan and Pakistan. But despite the condition and being turned away from Singapore and Myanmar, he finally made it through 16 countries. That also included Vietnam, Turkey, Italy, France, where he took a ferry to England and arrived in London in July 2012. And one Englishman, John Biston, used his limited knowledge of Mandarin Chinese and discovered Chen's amazing story. He set out to tell the world. So only a few days later, Chen had spoken to BBC and CNN, being awarded a ticket to the opening ceremony of the London Games, and being honored at a dinner held by the Chinese Olympic team. And only just by his journey from China to London Olympics, Chen set his mind to ride to the 2016 Olympics in Brazil. In June 2013, He flew from London to Nova Scotia, Canada, traveled west, and in January 2015, Chen entered the United States in Washington State, riding through Oregon and entered California in 1 month. After Los Angeles, Mr. Chen turned east and paddled through Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and New York. And he has been in Washington, D.C. for the past 3 weeks. I had the honor to have lunch with him with a bunch of friends. Chen is a public figure on Facebook, and here's the video uploaded by one of his fans, JT. You can also find his news from Tumblr blogs, Google+, Twitter, and Instagram. So what's the next step? The original plan was to cross the southern United States to Texas and to end Mexico, where he will make his way through Central America to South America, and finally the 2016 Olympics. But without enough time, Chen will take a boat to Brazil next year. And after 2016 Olympics, we hear that he wants to ride across Japan, New Zealand, and Australia. He will ride to the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan. And with that, let me open it up for your questions. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to start with Joy.
Okay, so in a day, how many miles would he travel per day? I mean, how long would it take him to get from one country to the next?
Each day he can ride up to 50 miles.
50 miles a day?
But he keep on riding for the past 14 years. So in some place, he cannot even move for like 3 or 4 days. In Turkey, he was in snow. He didn't got rescued after 1 week.
Did he sleep outside that whole time?
Most of the time, but like when he was in Maryland, so we have a fans club, so we like received him, and he was staying with some friends.
Nice.
So who sponsored him? How can he support himself outside all the time?
That's a good question. In the beginning, he had some savings. He actually didn't spend. You don't need to spend much when you have this moving vehicle with you, so you don't need to pay for the hotel. But after a while, he got some donations. Yes.
And did he get visas to different countries?
That's a very good question. We asked them as well, but he didn't get a world visa in one time. Like when he was in Thailand, he was applying for the visa of the next country. He has been doing that one by one. And when he was in Canada, he was rejected for the U.S. visa. So he even flew back to China and got a visa in Beijing, and then he flew back to, that's what happened.
Yes. Yeah, what was he doing before he embarked to this kind of tour? I wish I could do this kind of thing.
Yeah,
what is the purpose?
What is the purpose? We can find. So he's trying to promote the Olympic spirit and hoping for world peace. And whenever he go, not everyone knows him. And the people, if you go to Facebook or Twitter, you know this guy. And a lot of people, they feel so excited. A lot of times we have been trapped in our everyday life. When we see him, we find like we can do something else in our life. Maybe help others, and also like him to promote promote the peace and the spirit, Olympic spirit for the world.
Does he have family? Wife?
He's single. He's single.
Okay.
His father passed away 3 years ago. He was in England at that time, so he had to flew back to China. His mom is in her 80s, but she's in good health. Yes.
Did he used to be a competitive cycler or runner when he was younger? Because I figure you have to be in really good physical shape.
Yes.
to
He
ride.
was very strong. He was just a farmer.
Oh.
And when I met with him the first time, we shook the hands. Oh! So you can try that.
You know, it's the story sort of, in a way, I don't mean to make light of it, but sort of parallels to Forrest Gump's story, who just started running for whatever reason and just continued to run through all of the countries. I wonder what motivated him to begin that journey.
So he is the real version of Forrest Gump.
Yes.
What motivated? So in 2001, there was a news that Beijing was going to hold the Olympic, and he was so excited. But nobody else in his village really understands him, and he tried to do something different. He has been a farmer for all his life, so he rode around China for 7 years. Well, I think everyone needs to ask himself or herself, what is the real purpose of your life? I think Mr. Chen found the purpose of his life. But what about you? Okay, that's all for today's press conference. KMOE.
Thank you, JT, for that inspiring presentation. The next part of our meeting is table topics, and Joy Jackson Farrar will be our table topics master. She has been a longtime member, and she enjoys social media. It's changed the way she sees the world, and the way other people have benefited as well. She's big on Facebook and has a group of wonderful friends. They share interesting tidbits about various topics. She's used Facebook to reconnect with classmates from high school. That's a great idea. She thinks it's a wonderful tool if used for good, and like me, she has concern that it can, make some people isolated and, not as interpersonal. So still she asks herself, whatever happened to picking up the phone to say hi, and now just everybody Facebooks or texts. LOL. All right, let's please join me. Welcome, Joy.
Everybody. So I thought long and hard about Susan's topic, and I thought, wow, what am I going to ask people? So I thought I'd keep it kind of simple and talk about what most of us do today. How many people in here Facebook, Twitter, Instagram? How many people don't do any social media at all? So you don't do any at all. Okay, well I used to be one. I used to be you. It took me a long time to connect with Facebook because I had time. But I went on this trip to Ireland, and I was traveling with a friend of mine who was pretty savvy because she has 2 teenage daughters, who sort of got her connected. And she posted my pictures on Facebook, and I got all these likes. And so from that point on, I've been, loving Facebook because I see that it has a lot of good to it. I mean, there are some things that are dangerous about it if used improperly, but I think that for the most part, it's a great way to find out things about life, about people that you know, about social issues. It's a great way to communicate. And again, like Susan did say, I do have concerns about people, that only fake. You see people, you go to dinner nowadays, people are always on their phone. There's no more of that interaction anymore. Even my husband and I, oh my God, we go out to eat, we have to say